Hey everybody. Okay, so it's a sad day for me. I got to tell you two. I've only got two people in here, but I'm gonna pretend like there's a ton of y'all. No, I'm gonna tell the two of y'all that this was one of my favorite books whenever I was a kid. Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are. I just got a book called Bumbleardy from him too that just came out this year, and it's about a pig who his mom wouldn't let him have any birthday parties. So he decided to get all of his friends over, and the pigs decided to have their own birthday party for him anyway. And then when Mom came back home, she was pretty mad. So no more birthdays after that. but Maurice Sendak, and if you've ever seen him, he was on the Stephen Colbert Show a couple times. He had a 2-part interview. That was this long interview, and it was awesome. He was an amazing guy. He just passed away this morning. He died this morning. Yeah, that's why I have to read it to you. But I really liked the guy. I've loved his stuff. He's famous because some of his books one of his first books was actually banned from libraries, and all of them have drawings. They're drawings, but it had a nude little boy in the story, like he was swimming around naked in a bowl of cereal and stuff like that. So they pulled that, and they wouldn't let any of the libraries. You couldn't go to a school library and get that book. So that's kind of sad. I guess. I don't know what the problem is with little drawn nude boys, and he was in a bowl of cereal too. But he's all over the place. So this is Where the Wild Things Are. I wanted to read it to you guys because I'm not sure if you have read it. You said you hadn't read it before, huh? And I do have it in Spanish too, Donde viven los monstruos, but I don't have it with me because I didn't find out that he passed away until I got to school already. So how long have I been talking already? So after 4 minutes, really? Okay, goodness. Alright, so this is Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. And I feel like I'm going to go ahead and read it, even though you probably shouldn't read an entire book on the internet anyway. I'm going to read it. So, by Maurice Sendak. I love the pictures of Max. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, there's him making mischief, and another, he's chasing the dog. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up!" And so he was sent to bed without eating anything. No supper. There's him in his room. Probably can't see it. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Still in his room. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. Nice boat. Yeah, I like that. And in and out of, he sailed in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. I don't think I could have gone a year without some food on that boat, but... And when he came to the little place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. They sound terrible. And until Max said, "Be still!" and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. He scared them by staring them down, huh? And made him king of all the wild things. Good job. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. And so to celebrate him being a king, they had a wild rumpus, and they danced around, and they swung around on the trees, and he got to ride around on their backs because he's the king. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. Go home. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go! We'll eat you up! We love you so!" And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. Long trip. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. I thought he wasn't going to get any supper. Y colorín. Oh, and it was still hot. Y colorín colorado. Este cuento se acaba. So, yeah, thank you. I love it. But when you're a kid, the pictures that he drew are awesome. And he wrote people letters. If you wrote him letters, and on the outside of the envelopes, I tweeted that earlier, he drew the monsters, and he would send them to people in the envelopes. So he was just an awesome guy. I'm really gonna miss him, even though I never got to meet him. I love his books, all of his books, and he's got quite a few. But he's one of those things that if you remember from reading it when you were a little kid, these are one of the books that you read, the first books that you read, or the ones your parents read to you, Good Night Moon, stuff like that, are the ones that you remember forever. So the movie was pretty good too. It was really, I enjoyed it. So it wasn't quite like the book, but it was a pretty cool movie. So all of his stuff's good. So anyway, I just wanted to make the video to get to say to everybody out there, in case somebody wants to watch, how much I miss Maurice Sendak. And Maurice, we love you, and thanks for everything you did while you were here. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a good one.